Değerli Esport izleyenleri, 3 saniyeye hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Her hafta olduğu gibi basketbola dair en özel konular ve en özel konuklarla bu haftada sizlerleyiz. Bu haftaki konuğum Zalgiris Kaunas'ın başarılı oyuncusu Nigel Hayes. Nigel, welcome. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I can't wait to do your questions. Oh, fun fact, people, we've talked for 20 minutes before, so.
Exactly. No, we did. I was about to say that, but I wanted to, warn you that I'm going to open it as like we haven't talked. So, Nigel, do you speak in Turkish, by the way?
My Turkish is very good in the sense that I can get around Turkey and get what I need. I can't have like in-depth philosophical conversations, but if I'm in Turkey, I can get what I need. I can go where I need to go, eat what I need to eat, find what I need to find.
You know only tamam, you only know nasılsın, harika, something like that, no?
And I just aha-e. Wow.
Hadi.
The disrespect to my language. I love languages. Okay, I take great pride in knowing languages. I'm always jealous of multilingual people. So that's a credit to playing overseas. As soon as I got to Turkey, I was like, all right, let's learn this language as fast as I can. I did a great job. I think you ask anyone that worked with the team, they had never seen anyone learn Turkish as fast as I did. And it's great.
And as we've talked before, you gave me an information, which was you read a book about Atatürk. And I'm curious, like you read the book because Ertuğrul Erdoğan, who used to be your coach, suggested you that book, and then you read that book. So how was that, learning about Atatürk?
It was like a 600-700 page book on Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. And it was a great book. When I got there, I saw all of these pictures of this man everywhere in the store. There's this place around the sea, I think kind of close to the Asian side, where he hangs on the highway. You know which highway I'm talking about? The turn in front of like the castle or one of his palaces he stayed at.
Okay, Dolmabahçe. Yeah.
Yes. So this giant hanging in the middle of the street. I said, oh my gosh, they love this guy. And then I said, it's weird because in America, like there's not one person that the country universally loves like that. And they all go, yes, that's our guy or girl. So to see that everywhere, like I said, in the stores, hallways, on people's cars, everywhere was this guy. I'm like, who is this guy? So then, Coach Ertuğrul gave me a book. He knows I like to read and be informed. And he was, I'll try to reenact him. He said, hey, maestro, smart guy, huh? Big time motherfucker, huh? Hey, here you go. And then, I read the book probably each week and a half. In passing, he would always go, so where are you at in the book? And I'd have to give him an informal book report about where I'm at, what Atatürk was doing. And then after I'm finished telling him, he would then proceed for 20 minutes to explain to me in even more detail what I just explained to him. So it was a great book, great man. He did a lot of fantastic things
we do love him. He's the greatest. Let me underline as like greatest. And so Nigel, I want to know, and everyone who are watching right now, they all want to know, how did you meet the basketball? How did you, why did you want to become as a basketball player right before the Wisconsin's basketball career that you had?
In fourth grade, my mother loves sports, and she's like, hey, see if my kids like sports. So she put me in sports, YMCA, played in a church. I was horrendous too. Don't ask her for the footage because she'll send it to you too. Okay. So I'm actually going to tell her to find you and block you, so that way you can't contact her. But
okay,
she has some of the footage of it. Very embarrassing, but so just started playing basketball, kept working at it. Surrounded by great coaches and family. I've always had really great coaches. Luckily for my career, I was able to learn a lot from, help me develop. And basketball is the best job in the world, besides being like Justin Bieber or Drake. Really, it's the best job in the world.
Why? Besides being,
everybody wants to be you.
Are they all like being Justin Bieber is a good thing?
What? Yes. What? For sure. I would trade all my athleticism and basketball ability if I could be a pop star. Are you serious? What?
So why do you play basketball?
Because I can't sing.
If you could have sing, like if
What?
you could, really?
I can't sing. If I could sing, and I'm 6'8". What? I am a 6'8"
So
pop
what?
star.
So yeah, that would be a nice thing to watch. Like, you know, Nigel being a pop star is a good thing. But okay. And so if we start talking about your NCAA years with Wisconsin College, how was that? How were those period, like those times for you?
It's great. Fantastic. It's probably the second to last time in your life that basketball is fun and it's no longer a job, you know? The first being AAU in America. When you're playing in high school, you know, you're traveling around the country playing. That's the most fun you will ever have with basketball. It doesn't beat it. And you can ask any American player, they'll tell you that AAU is the most fun of all time. The second is college. You know, if you're on a good team, you're a good winning team, and you like your teammates. That second, it was really fun. It was great. Year 19 for me, which is sophomore year. Year 19 was the best year of my life, probably. Great year. Lots of fun.
Also, Wikipedia says that too.
Yeah, so it was fantastic. I love it. Year 19 was great. College was great. I did everything you can do in college at being an athlete, basketball player, except win the national championship. But other than that, I checked off probably every other box, like as far as experience, degree, education, fun, networking, community, just everything. It was fantastic. Wisconsin's probably, if Wisconsin was in California, just pick up Wisconsin, right, the university, and put it in California, it would be the best university in the world.
In the world.
Hands down. Hands down.
Wow. Okay. And I think you said when you were talking about your college years, you said, you know, I've done everything, which I, you know, wanted to do. And I checked, I was looking at your interviews, and, you know, YouTube gave me this video when you had that NCAA press conference, when you had that moment saying that, God, she's beautiful. And I really like that video of you, because you've been, like, you know, very honest on that video, and then you were like, you know, being shy and all of that. So do you think that all the NCAA players should learn how to act in front of media, or should be natural like you did during that press conference?
Something like that, I don't know if it's natural. I mean, maybe your charisma is something you have naturally, or maybe your personality, maybe. But as far as the couth you have conducting yourself, I think that's something that you have to make sure you have good people around. You have to make sure people, you know, help you with that. I was, like I said, I told you off interview, I was raised by the greatest woman in the world, Talia D. Davis, and she always talked about making sure you carry yourself, represent yourself well, you know, speak intelligently, articulately, and be a respectful person. And I've always had those surroundings growing up throughout high school and then to college. So I guess I would credit them. You know, who knows? I could have said something crazy and, you know, butterfly effect. Who knows where I'd be now? But credit to those people that were around that helped, you know, shape and mold the Nigel that was in.
And every single interview I watched about you, you look very unique. Like, you have that character. Like, you're a character, you know? You're a unique basketball player. Let me call it like that. I don't know how you are as a human, as a person, but as a basketball player who I'm seeing throughout the media, you look unique. And your first season as a professional, how was it?
I don't know. First, I'm not unique. This is just my personality. It's kind of annoying because people confuse a personality with, like you said, a character. And like, that's kind of annoying, because then it gets to a point where people think you're like acting, and they want you, like, when you're off camera, to be what they see on camera, even though like you're not. So they think you're supposed to do like these grandiose things for their entertainment. And it gets like very, it's kind of like annoying, because it's like, I'm not trying to do anything, and they think I'm trying. So then when they see me off camera, they go, I'll do something spectacular. And I'm like, will you leave me alone so I can eat my food? You know, that's kind of a problem you run into. So yes, to answer that, first year, great learning experience. I was able to meet a lot of people. Throughout my journey, I learned a lot from a whole lot of people. You know, my first year history, you've done your research, so you know where I was, where I went. So I was able to, I've always tried to do a good job of meeting people, being a good person, being genuine, picking up information, establishing good relationships, and being a good person. I think that has helped me and set me up for, you know, having a good life, successful professional career, and, you know, I'm just trying to continue to, you know, do right, and hopefully right follows.
Okay. And MBA, your MBA journey. How can you describe that journey?
A learning experience, exactly. I was just talking to my age and the family. Like so not a like a diss, but like the college I went to isn't one that's like MBA prep, if you will. Like the University of Wisconsin is not a place that more or less cares about their players going to the NBA, and the system of basketball is definitely not one that's catered to the NBA. And, you know, the talent, intelligence of a basketball player was there in the body, but like my knowledge of how to play NBA basketball wasn't there. And just how, you know, you should play that game, because it's a different game. And so that was just a learning experience and all of that. So taking that information, now I've been over here with my third year, and, you know, each year I've gotten, you know, just better and better and better, which is what I've always tried to do. That's what anyone should aspire to do, whether career or not, is try to improve each year, be a little bit better than you were before. And I think I've done that. So that's all you can do. Try to be better than you were yesterday or the year before.
Nowadays we have the players who are playing overseas as an American basketball players who are playing overseas. They have this goal to go or get back to NBA. If they have played an NBA before or not, they really want to go and play an NBA again. Do you have the same thing with you?
Absolutely. It's just your home, you know, and you'd rather be home. And I mean, you understand that's why some European players who do go to the NBA, they end up saying, "Yeah, I'd rather go home," because they're from Europe. So they.
Mirotic, you mean?
I think Meritage, yeah. I think he probably was one of the players who was like, "I got enough money. I'd rather go home or go back to, you know, a club." I don't know if he played with Barcelona before when he was younger.
Um, yes.
I'm not. Did he play on their youth team? So yeah, it's kind of like a going back home, you know, which is something that, again, Europeans like.
We have.
I'm sure there's other ones. I mean, if we think.
I've never heard any other example than Mirotic, and it's like a recent example that we have. But if, for example, like Dirk Nowitzki, or give me an example, like Hidayet Türkoğlu or Luka Doncic, or I don't know, other greatest ones, they've never came back.
I mean, my coach Shars came back, and then he ended.
That's true. That's
true. NBA, and then he came back, and now he's the.
He really wanted to come back.
All of Europe.
Because he really wanted to come back. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never asked him personally, but it's just a name that I know in the situation. But I don't know. But yeah, as an American, it's always great to be home, and it's not even more of a like, ooh, I want to be in the NBA, lights, camera, flick, flick, flick. It's more you just want to be home. You know, like there's something about being home, being able to. I've learned languages of the countries I've played in, but it's always comforting to read street signs or grocery store items in your own language. You don't always have to be like, oh, okay, what does this mean? Let me translate this in my head. You know, it's like little things like that. Being able to be like, hey, friends want to call, mom calls. What time is it there? Oh, 7 hours ahead. Sorry, I can't talk to you now. I have practice soon. You know, stuff like that. Or having my mom come and watch me. She hasn't watched me play a game in person in 3 years. So it's always great. You know?
So it's like a more comfort zone for you to stay in the United States, maybe.
Man, yeah, it's for everyone. I mean, everyone. For sure, you're more in your home country.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's different for me, for example. I never rather to stay at my comfort zone now.
Ooh, look at me. I want to get out of my comfort zone.
No, I did not say that. You just said it.
That is what you just said.
No, but I did not say that. You just said it. So I did not say ooh or something like that. But
that's how I make it better. I get out my comfort zone. Yeah.
And you know what? You can be a very good actor too. You can be, yeah, you can, for maybe after you quit basketball, you can be as an actor. Try to think. Maybe. We'll see. You have a long way to go. You're 27 years old.
Yeah, inshallah, we'll see when we get there.
Inshallah. So your NBA years, my last question about NBA, and I actually told that to you before the interview, that 10 days contracts with Lakers, with Toronto Raptors, and then you sign after those 10 days contracts with the Sacramento Kings. But those times with that type of a contract, how did it make you feel?
It's great, but it's also a tough situation to be in. You have 10 days to wow people, 10 days to make an impression. Sometimes, things you can't control. You may not have games to play. And like I said, more or less, it was definitely more. It's just like I didn't have the knowledge of how to play in the NBA, like the way the game needs to be played. Because like you can't play the NBA the same way you play EuroLeague because they're two different games. You can't play high school the same way you play college. So like you just have to know what situation you're in, use your talent, abilities, work, and then like you got to understand how to play the game. And that was also one of my issues as well with being in overseas first. When I got to Galatasaray, was knowing how to play European basketball, because European basketball is night and day from America. But luckily, Tulu was patient with me. He didn't cuss me out too much. And, I was able to, get better. He helped me. And, now I'm here the last 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. And Galatasaray, as you said, your first overseas year to Turkey. How did you, as a first overseas place, which was Turkey, what amazed you the most when you see, or what shocked you the most for the first time?
Istanbul is one of the greatest cities in the world, really, hands down. I mean, it's the only city, I think, on 2 continents. So it was always fun to be like, hey, guys, I text my friends, I just went to Asia today. You drive under the
have you ever texted that message to anyone?
For sure. In the group chat, I was like, hey, bros, I just drove to Asia. In the, the Eurasia Tunneli, I think is what it's called.
Opportunity, yes.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I just went to Asia today. No biggie. I just drove there. Like, that's cool to say. There's a million things to do. There's always something to do. The people are super nice, incredibly nice. I was always treated extremely well. Like, I'm like, obviously Istanbul. So like, there's no parking lot. So you always have to valet your car. And the men would always, run to get my car for me, always put me in a good spot. I'd be like, Teshikula, Baba. And they'd be like, yeah, Baba. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like sometimes in a grocery store, like there'd be fans, they'd be like, Gene Boom Boom, and like they wouldn't let me carry my groceries to the car. Like they would carry my groceries to the car, and I'm like, come on, you don't have to do this, buddy. And he'd be like, no. And he'd grab my groceries, and I'm like, and you know how awkward it is? Like I know Turkish, but like I don't know enough. But like it's an older man who didn't know English, obviously. So like we're just a silent walk to the car. He's carrying my groceries, and I'm just walking with him like, well, there are worse things in life than this. There are worse things in life. But Turkey's great. Food's great. City's great. People are nice. The climate is great. It's fantastic. Istanbul is the history. Like you can drive on the highway and see like the walls from Constantinople and all these ancient empires, and you can see all the mosques, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. And now you're in Litvanya, you're playing for one of the biggest club in Europe, which is Zalgiris Kaunas'ın. But you played also in Galatasaray with the lots of fans and the passionate fans like you are having right now with Lithuanian fans. But if you do the compression between those two, like Turkish fans and the Lithuanian fans, how do you describe that?
The Galatasaray fans outnumber Lithuanian fans because it's just more people. But the Lithuanian fans they're the best basketball fans I've ever seen. They are phenomenal. And it's not even close. Like last year, we lost 9 games in a row, and our EuroLeague games were still sold out. People were still standing the whole game, cheering us on. And, you know, like to see that is like, wow, you know, that's real love. So Lithuanian fans are fantastic. Yeah, they're great. Like I said, the best basketball fans that I've been around.
And I think because they really know about basketball, and the basketball is like a second religion for them. Because me and Thomas woke up when we had that interview, he was saying like basketball is like the second religion out here. So, you know, people care, people love that game. But over here, yeah, we love football. I mean, soccer.
Yeah, we love soccer too, first of all. So soccer's always a little bit bigger, and then there's just so many people and there's many things to do. So it's kind of like, you know, like, there's so much here. Can't have such, you know, centralized and focused things like in Kaunas, right? You know, much smaller city than Istanbul. Like Istanbul is like 5 times the size of all of Lithuania. So
exactly. No, that's true. But you played, for example, Euro Cup with Galatasaray, Ertuğrul Erdoğan, your teammates, for example, Aaron Harrison, and all of that crew, that team, which was amazing. And then right now you're playing EuroLeague. When you stepped into the EuroLeague, were there any like differences between Euro Cup and then EuroLeague?
Overall, yes, the players are better. But the first year, I had a very great coach, and he is one of the coaches that is very hard to play for your first year. And if you do the research, which I'm sure you've done, you will know that people who played their first year under Sharunas, that those aren't glamorous years for these players. You know, learning his system, playing for him. And I always said that like the hardest part about EuroLeague is being coached in EuroLeague, because it's very tough.
True. That is true. Yeah.
It's like, yes, the guys are good, but at the end of the day, it's basketball. But then like you will have to deal with like the coaching styles and everything that happens with each coach, you know, how they coach you, what they want you to do, what they allow you to do. And you have to play with that always in the back of your head and behind you. And, you know, that usually is like the hardest part about EuroLeague, is being coached in EuroLeague.
But what is the best part about EuroLeague from your perspective? Or basketball in Euro?
The best part about EuroLeague? Probably would be the competition. Like these games are incredibly hard and difficult to play in. Each game is like, it's the last game you may ever play in life. Like that's how each game feels that you play. And I think that's why the European fans love it. That's why you have the coaches who are so passionate and demonstrative in their coaching. And because, each game is, you know, like a do or die type of situation. So, you know, you got to appreciate that there's no, you know, nights off. There's no easy games. You can lose to anyone. You can beat anyone. And I think that is what makes it very good. It's kind of how America loves the NCAA tournament, because you just never know what can happen.
And who is the toughest player you've ever faced in EuroLeague?
The toughest player I ever. The first year we played Mirotic, it was not a good night for us as a team. That guy was good.
That guy?
Yeah. And then Mike James this year, oh my gosh, when we played him here, you can hang it up. Like the last 3 minutes, you just gave him the ball and he's just step back. Oh, I'm going to do it farther away. Step back. Oh, you want it to the other side. Okay, wait. Step back. And then you're sitting there going.
That's how Mike James is?
Yes. What? It's amazing. You just shake your hand like, hey, man. Good game, bro. Good game.
Yeah. And so, as you know, since we're talking about EuroLeague and the coaches and all of that, I also want to ask you something. As it's going to be a scenario, it's not a real thing. Let's say you are a fan. You are a basketball fan. You love basketball. You love watching the basketball, the players, you know, all of that. What would you like to see from a player?
I think first would be just playing hard, which is what the fans appreciate. That's why the Lithuanian fans are as supportive as they are, because it always starts with effort. Like someone's paying their hard-earned money to come watch you. They're doing whatever they need to do to come taking off work or sacrificing this or that so they can come watch, you play a game essentially. And people, don't like to be cheated when they give their hard-earned money for things. So I think that's probably the first and most important thing, is that the fans, and as a fan, that they see that, okay, this player is he's playing hard and he's doing whatever it takes to win. And then, everything else after that is kind of just like whatever you like, whether you like a big guy or point guards or shooters or whatever. But I think the first one is that you just want to see someone playing hard.
But no, I'm asking you, as a media person, as a press, and as a TV presenter, you think fans should see more about the basketball players' personal lives, or no?
About the personal lives?
Yeah.
Nah. I mean, I don't know. It's tough because some fans cross the line, which is why I have a thing. Like, I play for myself and then I play for my family, because at the end of the day, those are the only things that will be there, whether I have a good game or a bad game. You always appreciate fans, but fans have been known to, when you have a bad game, to say some very not nice things to you. Opposing fans have been known to say not very nice things to you. So if they know your personal life, then they may say something that crosses the line, and then you walk into a world of trouble. So it's kind of like
balance.
Yeah, it depends. It depends.
Okay, good to know, because fans, I sometimes I want to look at the game as a fan, and sometimes I want to look at the game as a media, as a person who works with the players. But sometimes I think, do I have to know about the personal lives as a fan or no? But I really wanted to ask you about that, because you're a wise guy. You're, as I said, like a unique mentality person. That's good to know.
I always said it was some sarcasm.
No, why?
Was that like a little jab?
No, it's not a sarcasm. I don't do sarcasm over here. If I want to, I would, but I'm not doing it. And the Zalgiris Kaunas'ın, this season's chemistry with the coach Martin. How is it? How is the things are going?
It's great. We hit a little skid. I'm sure you saw our last two games. They were not the prettiest in terms of results, but things were great. We were rolling. Things were good. Offense was great. Our defense was great. We just hit a skid at a bad time. We kind of got to fix it around. Like, some teams hit their skid at the beginning of the year, and now they're like firing on all cylinders. And some, had ups and downs. I think we were doing very well, and we kind of hit a very poor timed skid. And fortunately, we have games left to do our best to try and correct that. But Coach Schiller's been great with the system he's implemented, the defense. He allows us to play through our mistakes, and the guys feel more free out there. Guys have more confidence in their abilities, and I think we just have to get back to that style of play that we were doing, where we were just firing on all cylinders on offense. We were playing great team defense, so we got to get back to that like yesterday.
Exactly. And who's your best friend in the team? Thomas Walcott?
Tom's a great guy. Yeah, I talk to Tom a lot. I mean, I talk to obviously the Americans would be the most. So yeah, Tom, Marty Ogg, Steve, those guys. The Americans. But my favorite, my dark horse favorite, is Yankee. Yankee is hilarious. He's one of the funniest people.
Really?
He's funny because when he talks in English, the way he says things is absolutely hilarious. Like, you understand what he means, but the words he uses and how he says it is absolutely hilarious. And like, he's just hilarious. I told him like a couple weeks ago, I was like, Yankee, I'm gonna miss you when we're gone. And he said, "Yo, no, don't worry. I will text you. Don't worry." And just the way he says it is just hilarious. Like, he's really funny.
We're about to finish this interview, but before coming to the end of the interview, I think this is going to be my favorite question to ask you. Can you tell us and tell me your funniest memory that you had with a fan during your basketball player career?
During my career, the funniest moment with a fan? Yeah, you said that like you have an answer.
I don't know. No. I mean, No.
You look down like did you write something down and you want to see if I say the same thing?
I literally did not write anything. Nothing.
Okay. My funniest interaction with a fan. I don't know.
We have time. You can think.
I don't.
I mean, if
I
you
don't know.
don't have time, don't think. But I have time for you to think.
That's the funniest interaction with a fan.
With a fan. You
Okay.
can think about Turkey, about Istanbul, about Zalgiris fan, Lithuanian fan.
Turkey was always funny because they were the fans always are asking, "Can I have your jersey?" Like they wanted my actual jersey that I was wearing, and I'm like, "Hey,
that's the thing, of course.
I can't give you I need this, buddy. I'm sorry, I can't give you the jersey." And they'd be like, "Why not?" Because I need it for the next game. I'm sorry, I can't give you my jersey. You know, it's not the NBA where I can just give you a jersey and get a new one.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I need this one. Sorry. So Turkish fans were always, Baba, forma. And then I go,
Baba, give me the forma.
and I said, I can't. I'm sorry. Maybe next time I see you. No, I guess some of the best times though are when like being overseas, you meet fans and then like I speak their language to them, and then they like do like the, oh my gosh, and you know, it's like those are always.
But do you speak
funny.
better Turkish or better Lithuanian?
Turkish for sure. Turkish is easy. Lithuanian is very hard.
Okay. I did not hear your Turkish, but no, as we've texted before to arrange this interview.
You're trying to play me like I don't know Turkish.
No.
You keep trying to play me like I don't know Turkish.
Because I did not hear during this interview I heard a one word in Turkish, but I did not hear a complete sentence in Turkish.
I told you that my Turkish is, I can't have deep intellectual conversations in Turkish, but like if you saw me in Turkey, like let's say I'm walking around the mall or going to a restaurant, I could order all of my food in Turkish, have the whole conversation with the waitstaff in Turkish, and you would go, "Oh, you know Turkish?" And then I'd have to tell you like, "No, I just know enough to convince you I do." But you're obviously not buying that, and you're trying to throw shade this way, which is crazy.
No, I'm not trying to do anyway, but I'm just trying to understand if your Lithuanian is better than Turkish or not. Nigel, thank you so much for the interview. Like, it's good to know you and know your perspective about basketball, your philosophy about basketball, about life. You know, we don't know about it very well, but since we try to learn, thank you.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it, and I'm waiting for you to learn Turkish and then do the interview in Turkish for the next time.
Okay. I will accept the challenge. I smell a challenge, and I will accept your challenge. We'll see what happens. It's a long road. Who knows where life will take us, you know? Maybe next time we'll do it in Arabic if you learn, or maybe we'll do it in Italian if I can get better at it. Who knows?
Okay. I'm in. Seriously. Thank you and take care.
Thank you. Ciao.
Değerli Esport izleyenleri, haftaya tekrardan yeni bir 3 saniyede görüşmek dileğiyle. Hoşça kalın.